Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Resin Market Moves. Today is March 14th, and my name is Michael Workman with ResinSmart. This week, it was very chaotic and fast moving as things have been lately. Crude oil did hit $120 a barrel on Monday, which is a 4-year high. And that was right after reports of military action in the Middle East and direct threats to vessel traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. And by Friday, it was back below $90. And that's the kind of volatility that creates an environment where resin buyers can get themselves in a pinch, not because of supply shortages just quite yet, but because producers move to establish pricing momentum while buyers are still trying to figure out what's real and what their impact is. So we're going to help you with that. Let's cut through the noise. And here's what the data actually shows from this week. Let's start with polyethylene. Producers are pushing contract prices of up to 10 cents a pound for March and looking for another 10 cents in April. If both go through fully, we're looking at PE costs up 15 to 20 cents in the first 4 months of 2026. And that's a big number. And let's all remember that 14 days ago, the market rolled flat for the month of February. Here's what the supply and demand data says. North American inventories are at 38 days of supply. February demand was up about 4%, which is, solid, but not anything explosive like we've seen in the past. And exports were actually down 5%, meaning less domestic supply was leaving the US than normal. And this creates a market where producers have leverage from spot pricing and the geopolitical narrative that's going on right now. The fundamentals don't support double-digit price increases. Buyers should push back and hold the line and ask for the data that's justifying those increases. Now, polypropylene is a different story, but the takeaway is similar. PGP prices, that's polymer grade propylene, that key feedstock. The spot prices jumped sharply this week, trading in the 40 to 45 cent per pound range. And February polypropylene contracts followed right along with it, up 4 cents per pound. Producers have nominated 2 cents a pound of increase for March and another 4 cents for April. But the important thing to keep in mind is that this is a feedstock story and is it related to demand picking up in polypropylene end markets. Inventories remain at 37 days, and that is pretty balanced from a historical standpoint. If PGP stabilizes, and it could quickly, especially if the geopolitical situation de-escalates, if Trump's promise of the Navy empowering boats to go through the strait happens, polypropylene pricing momentum could turn pretty fast in a reversal way. So keep your eyes on propylene as we will, and not the headlines. As for polystyrene and PVC, let's get into that. For polystyrene, the feedstock benzene continues to be the main driver there. Benzene spot prices spiked again this week, and producers are targeting 3 to 5 cents of increase for the month of March. Ineos Styrolution is one of the main suppliers. They froze orders in Europe this week, and that's a signal of how quickly things can move in this global market that we're in. PVC is the market that we've got our eyes on the closest this week because it's a little bit different from the others in that there are two pretty legitimate supply pressure signals. First, there's a heavy turnaround season that we're still in the middle of with major outages at OxyChem, Shintech, and Formosa, all happening at the same time. And secondly, there are real logistic disruptions tied to vessels that have to reroute and it's producing shipping capacity. February PVC inventories we saw a draw of 26 million pounds, and that's only about 22 days of supply. And that's pretty lean, combined with a 7 cent a pound increase already in the market for the month of April being proposed. That is, PVC buyers need to get out ahead of this one and really pay attention. The engineered resins, when I say engineered resins, again, I'm talking about ABS, polycarbonate, nylon, specifically 6,6 and 6. Story is pretty consistent. Feedstocks are going up, but demand is not responding. Most producers across these types of resins have not proposed formal increases, although we did just get word this morning on Celanese going to the market with an increase. And Valior has nominated 10 to 14 cents on nylon 6. But others haven't jumped into the fray just yet. Logistic costs are rising. We did see one of the largest distributors in North America announce a $50 per shipment increase plus a 5% out of zone fee hike. And that's real cost pressure that buyers are going to feel unless they're able to negotiate that out of their spend. But for the most part, if you're a buyer of engineered resins, you're in a pretty strong negotiating position right now. Don't concede increases just because headlines are saying that the costs are up for the polymer. PET, just a quick note there. We did see Indorama, one of the largest suppliers, propose a 10-cent per pound increase. March, paraxylene feedstock, that's one of the key feedstocks for expected to jump 12 and a half cents. So there's some real market upward pressure in PET, and if we look ahead just a little bit, we've got the World Cup here that we're hosting in the US and North America, US, Mexico, and Canada. And that's really expected to turbocharge bottle season, which is, again, where PET is meaningfully used in Q2. So PET buyers should really think about that particular timing with their order patterns. So in summary, here's the bottom line for this week. Volatility is the name of the game. The geopolitical mess is certainly real. Feedstock costs are going up across the board, but that volatility is not the same as sustained price increases. Right now, we are seeing cost pressure, not demand pressure, and those require very different responses from the buyer. And the buyers that are going to win in this environment are the ones who stay disciplined and can separate the narrative from what's actually happening in the data and make decisions based on those actual market signals, not noise and not headlines. If you want any more data behind the story, real transaction-based benchmarks, feedstocks, expert insight, and guidance, reach out to our team at ResinSmart. And join us this coming week on Thursday, March 19th. We've got a live insider session. The odds are stacked against resin buyers. Here's how to win anyway. We are going to be joined by one of our owners, Bill Bowie and Tyler Wheeler, who between the two of them have over 40 years of buying experience here in North America and can help you separate signals from the noise. We're really excited to see you all next week at the event, and everyone travel safe and purchase wisely.